water raped for the guy in the desert, or you could find ways to let people know that, well, they're already really thin and now they're really thin because they're about to die, or and there are tricky little ways like that, and those are good because they help actually move the story along too. We don't have a paragraph of somebody looking in the mirror saying, okay, my hair is kind of blonde, and she looked in the mirror and checked out her blonde hair and her green eyes, and was her lipstick right, and was, whatever. That's a lot more creative. That would be a lot more creative, and where you tie, you find a way to move the story along with it
Yeah.
too. Yeah, but that one can get tricky. That one can get really hard. It's like we have to get something out there. People need an image. We need some kind of image, because I've read some books where you're going quite a ways through and you don't really have a sense of what you're seeing, and then there's one line and it just it just kind of, you've got all this picture built up in your own head, because your brain won't leave a void. It will fill it with something, and if the writer hasn't given us the words to fill it, we'll fill it ourselves. And then they print something that's completely opposite, and you have this moment of, well, I don't even know what
Mm.
I don't even know what I'm reading now. So, yeah, Wicked Fairy. Oh, I thought I
Hmm.
saw your light flash. Maybe no. Okay.
No, I accidentally hit the button.
Ah, okay. Alrighty. So with third person, okay, with first person, the big points are it's very, very personal. It's really easy to get, inside this person's head. You got to make sure this person is somebody that we're going to like, though, because we literally have to spend every sentence of the book with them. And that doesn't mean they're perfect. It means we're going to feel,
Relatable.
yeah, we have to feel a connection of some sort to these people, because we're going to be spending a lot of time with them. We don't ever get away from them. We don't ever get a break. So if we don't have an emotional connection very, very quickly within the story, we probably won't finish the story. So you've got to get those emotions there done really quick, because we're in this person's head. um, so it has a lot of strengths, and for me, from the mystery point of view, it's hard because,
That's what I was going for, mystery, actually.
and it's tough because, and you know what, if you're looking for a mystery, there is a series of books. Shoot, what's her name? I was just going to say it, and it went right out of my head. They're the ABC murders. There's an entire series of murders, and it starts like A is for, I can't remember the titles. A is for assassination, B is for whatever, and there's a whole series. She's got a whole series of them, and she's writing from like a private eye point of view, and it's first person, and
Is it Sue Grafton?
might have been, actually, it might have been, yeah. I don't remember now. I should know this because I've got, or at least used to have dozens of her books, and I can't remember.
It's A is for Alibi, B is for Burglar. It's the
Those.
Kinsey Milholm series.
That's the ones. Yeah, Kinsey Milholm. So she's a private eye. They're all written first person. And one thing about first person, though, and you got to keep tension up, right? If the person is telling me the story, I already know they didn't die. I already know that they weren't killed. I already know they're going to be around because they're telling me the story. Right? Go ahead, Lizzie.
Well, for mine, it's a supernatural mystery, so in a way, they could be dead.
This is true. And that's part of what you've set up with the first part, is we don't even know if she's dead or not. There is oh gosh, okay, it's called the Thomas Covenant series, and it's sort of a fantasy. It's about a fellow who has leprosy, of all things, modern day today, um, and he is transported to this place called the land, and there are giants and dwarves and big trees, and I love the land. It's fabulous, and he thinks he's dreaming. It's always done in first person, so we have no idea if he's actually dreaming or if this stuff is real. And you start, every book would start with him kind of being in Earth, our world, or be, or ending back in a hospital room or something like that. And there were 6 books published, and somewhere, I think it was in the 4th or 5th book, there was a little blip in his writing. He had one scene, one single solitary scene about a big war that we kind of needed to know about, and there was no way to write it from the first person point of view. And it was just literally about a chapter, just a good chapter size. And the editor caught it and went, "You put this in from somebody else's point of view. That means the land is real. Now we know. You've just, yeah, you've just taken the whole guess." So they pulled it. And after the series was completed, they published that as a little extra bit that you could go and buy. And, but it was amazing because, you know, as the reader, you're going, okay, this has got to be real, because you love the place so much. It's got to be real. It's got to be real. But he does some really horrible things sometimes because he believes he's just dreaming. He just doesn't, you know, there's no consequences because this can't be real. And since we only ever see it from in his head, we don't know. And Lizzie, you're setting up something that could be like that, you know, right to the bitter freaking end before we find out if it's real.
Yeah, that's actually what I would do. I would wait till the end to show if she was.
Grab one of those books. They're called the Thomas Covenant series. Grab one of them. They're fabulous. Just read one because he does it better, I think, than any other books I've ever read like that. Of just, we're in the guy's head and we still don't know what's going on. It was awesome. Really good.
You had no clue what was going on, but you loved it.
Yes, you do it, and you know you wanted it to be this, but you really didn't know. There really, you know, you could decide to believe whatever you wanted, but you really didn't know till the end of the series. It was pretty.
There was no for sure.
None at all. None at all. And it's like, geez, don't be a jerk, guy. What if this is real? You know, you just wanted to smack him. He was kind of an anti-hero. He wasn't necessarily a great guy, but you there was enough there that you wanted him to be. You were rooting for him to, you know, to try to smarten up and get better. Stephen R. Donaldson, The Chronicles of Thomas Covenant, for those who want to know. So, okay, so we have something from, oh, I thought you had posted, did Manuel, did he have something written that I was supposed to be reading, or I thought I saw something flash by? Okay, well, while that gets sorted out. So first person, it's strengths or it's very personal. It can still be very tricky. Red herrings, misdirection can be handled by just, you know, you get to live the actual characters' misunderstandings and misperceptions of different things. And that alone allows us to be even closer to the person. The problems can be that if you need something out there, you've got to find a way to bring it in. And you have to find a way to describe a character that hasn't been done so many times that everybody's going to yawn through it. And that one can be really, really tricky. That can be bad. Hello, Seraphim. We have some new people. Horsey. There was some other names here. Jazz. Well, I'd seen some other names come in, and I'd wanted to say hello. And, well, hello. Anyway, if I missed you, I did see you. With third person. Third person is sometimes easier. Not always. It is easier in mysteries because you can come from another point of view, and you can have, you know, you can get into the head of the bad guy even, and that can build a lot of tension because you know what's coming and the character doesn't know what's coming, and oh my god, this is, you know, you can have that sort of thing going on with the different viewpoints. He said, she said, you know, he did this, she did that. And then to get into their head, I'll be honest, I find it's almost as easy because you can just say, you know, she thought, or you can change the tone in such a way, you know, let's see, I'm going to use this last one here. He could feel the sun burning on his back. He was still heading north, away from danger. He could feel the sand. His last precious drops of water were in his canteen. Now, instead of saying, but he wouldn't drink it, not yet, you could just say something like, and there's no way I'm touching that, not yet. You know, you could have put in that one sentence that is an I, and then we know we're in their head. You can put it in italics, that's used sometimes, or just saying he thought, and now we're in this character's head. So if you change the tone, and if the character has developed a really good voice, it can be, in my opinion anyway, absolutely as personal as first person. And it does allow you to get out if you need to. You can run away and hide for them if you have to. So I don't know. They're both, and sometimes you have to describe things more. Like with and that's what I found. Where's that little thing I did? The first one, it says, I do not seek salvation. I long for fear and shadow. He offers me a home, and I want punishment. I find his tenderness repulsive. I want a savage grab instead of a gentle hand. I want to feel only the passion you awoke in me. I want to be taken, slammed up against my own hunger, and made to face my darkness and know myself truly for what I have become. I'm sorry, what was that? Was it just a random squeak? Okay.
Huh?
Oh, I thought somebody was saying something. I was gonna...
Oh, no, but I have a fun tidbit.
Okay. Related to this one, or...
It's related to writing.
Okay, all right. Okay, one sec. Hold on to it. So when I mean, when I was able to write it from first person, it was just how she felt. But when I went to third person, how do I say, she did not seek salvation. She longed for fear and shadow. He offered her a home. And I found when I was writing it that way, it felt really flat. When I just took the pronouns and changed it, I thought, okay, this really blows in third person. That particular piece was just, because that's what I did at first. I wrote it first. I did the exact same thing in third person, and it was the most boring, horrible thing. I'm not saying the first one's great, but man, the second one was awful. It was just, it was really embarrassing. It was really lousy. So I thought, it doesn't translate immediately from one to the other as well as I would have hoped that it would have. So I actually had to add things to make it work, you know, that she looked at the man standing before her. He offered her a home and tenderness, but it's punishment I deserve, she thought. I do not seek your salvation. And then she turned away in sadness. I had to explain that because in the first one, we know she's going to do that because she's saying, I find it repulsive. But just saying she found it repulsive comes into the, how do I say this? In this particular passage, in first person, I'm not being told what this girl is unhappy, this girl is whatever. I know it because I'm in her brain while she's thinking it. But when I turn those same words to, she did not seek salvation, she longed for fear and shadow, all of a sudden I'm being told she's unhappy. I don't get to see it. I don't get to feel it. And so for me, I had to have her looking at him, and then she turned away. I had to show her rejecting him, because otherwise I was just telling people how she felt, and there was like no emotional connection at all. It was just somebody telling me about somebody else, and it's like, who cares? You know, she felt passion for him once, with him, only him. So you get a feeling that that's in her head. That's what she's thinking. You know, it was just him. It's important kind of thing. I don't know. I found when I just changed the pronouns directly, it didn't work. It just absolutely did not work, unfortunately. So that can be another thing. And that's what I found when I was writing the World of Warcraft stuff. When I wrote myself in a place I didn't know how to get out of, because I wasn't planning it. I was writing away. Oh, this is fun. And I had to rewrite a lot. Oh God, I had to write a lot. Anyway, so Demonac, you're here. Did you have something to read? Does anybody else have something that they wanted me to read in here? If you don't have a microphone, No, somebody wants to buy my poster. No, they are gifts. They are not for sale. They're available anywhere. Go to poster.com. Both of these are up there. Not a problem. Go buy them.
Well, I have to say what you were saying about having to go back and change one or the other. I had the same issue. Like I tried starting with first person, and I'm like, this is getting like too to the point, like bullet point sounding. So I went and I wrote the second person, and I'm like, wait, this isn't matching up with the first one now. So I went